Welcome to the World of Purever podcast on smart industries. Today, we have the privilege and the pleasure of interviewing Luis Coelho Borges, our CEO and founder of Purever Industries. It's a company with 11 factories in 6 countries and more than 1,100 employees. Just a little bit of a background on Luis. He's a distinguished executive and a good friend with over 3 decades of experience in transforming and leading businesses around the world. His academic background includes a degree in business administration, management from the Instituto Superior de Gestão, sorry about the Portuguese, Luis, as well as an advanced management program at INSEAD. He has successfully led the expansion of Purever, including strategic acquisitions, which we'll talk a little bit about today, such as Ardmac and Misa in the cold room business. And his leadership has been crucial in implementing technological innovations and sustainable practices within the company. Additionally, his focus on research and development and new product development has positioned Purever as truly a pioneer in the smart industries sector. And it's really a pleasure to welcome you, Luis, on our podcast. And we really look forward to hearing your valuable insights. So welcome.
Thank you, Bill. It's a pleasure to be here with you and Karen.
So Karen, I think you had a question for Luis. Why don't you start off today?
Yes. So Luis, perhaps it has been a very direct and clear, or perhaps there have been a few twists and turns along the way. But could you maybe describe your professional journey leading up to becoming CEO of Purever Industries?
Well, basically, when I was part of a French group, the Garde Group, I thought that things could be do better, and we had an obligation towards even the society and the world today of developing useful solutions and products. And so that's basically what we did, try to create a company based on some existing MBO on some existing businesses, and create a company that would try to, and let's say the will and the ambition to have a footprint in this world by doing something useful. That's why I always, first of all, create the name Purever, which the idea was the purity forever, so in a certain way a permanence and something lasts in time. And secondly, our motto, which was protecting what matters most, now we changed to protecting life, which is basically the same, life on the planet and life on this today's world. And it's very important, and we try with our products, solutions and projects to have a small contribution for that, as we are on the food safety, on the food protection in terms of food preparation and food conservation. And we are in a number of clean markets, as we like to call it, which are basically technologies that permit to make some level of insulated protection, architectural protection in terms of rooms and for working environments that require this, like pharma, like hospitals, like electronics, so important in today's world, or new things like batteries and data centers that are so important for today's world development. No?
So we'd like to learn a little bit more about your background. One of the things people are often most interested in is learning a little bit more about the person behind the successful executive. And one of the questions that Karen and I had talked about is, if you could reflect a little bit on your academic background and what role did it play in your professional development and in shaping this vision of Purever Industries with all that kind of connotates. So the purity, the forever, the lasting business. Tell us a little bit about your academic background and how did that contribute to creating this company that you've created?
Well, my academic background is in business administration, which I was not particularly, probably, let's say, a kind of thing that you feel since you are a kid. My parents were both architects, so my normal situation, which was to go to architect, which is something that I love as not as a hobby, because you cannot be architect by hobby, but at least I like to enjoy nice buildings and developing the cities. And so I think it's very interesting. But in the end, I found myself in business administration and started working, because in the beginning I was in Portugal, so we had some troubled times then, and so we decided to go to work and then to come back to study in the university during nights, which I was doing along with working already in an American company, which was for me first time and the big discovery of the business world and how the relationship among people and how a company can be a living society for good and for bad of the world, you know. And so I thought that working made my need to study and learn techniques and more about business administration made it no doubt more interesting. And then going to INSEAD gave me another perspective. Was really a very nice period of my life, which gave me a lot of tools which I tried to use afterwards during my management business development. But I would say it was been something side by side, my professional career going along with my studies in terms of learning more. I had a family, so I had to provide also the family while I was studying. So it has been a demanding journey, but very interesting and very meaningful in terms of learning and going beyond what you can expect, which on the personal terms, it's something like have an ambition to improve yourself. No, I think that I try always that my companies have the ambition to overexceed themselves, which it's I think a translation that what I do for myself. I like that to have this ambition to go always further than what I expected I was capable of. No.
So in terms of your biggest challenges within the organization, can you tell us what they have been and maybe how you've addressed them?
Well, basically, of course, the world changes so fast now that during these 30 years that I'm in, or more than 30 years that I'm in business and running companies, the world has changed so much. So I think the most important thing is to adapt to change and to learn from what are the guidelines that you should follow to be on the right track during these changes. Because the worst thing that can happen is that you go to left and the world goes to right. No. So I think basically this is very important. And by doing that, it's very important to learn from the customers, because the customers finally are the ones that are going to give you the feedback or what they expect from you and where you want to go. And the people, I think there is no company, even an industrial company, even as automated as we want, there are no companies without people, and people are the most important asset, if we can call it like that. But people are the heart and the beating of the organs of a company, and therefore I will always a very important point for me to have people around me that could be even better than me on a lot of areas, and that could collaborate with me on the development of the company, that have fun together, because in the end, I think companies are where we spend much part of our lives and a lot of our time. And if we don't have a good environment, a healthy environment, a participative environment, a very diverse environment, and a very, generally speaking, we all have fun doing what we do. And we must like what we do and be fulfilled by doing this, either on your family, either on your home, on your private life, but also on the business. Everything is the same and is interconnected. And if you have a healthy family life, you are for sure capable of developing well your abilities in a company and contribute also for a healthy environment in a company, which is as important. So I would say basically people is very important. Listening to the world, being able to follow the signs that show around, and be very agile in the way you react to the changes. World would not expect to have a COVID, so in 2020. So all the companies, all the world, generally speaking, had to change suddenly because of that. And companies must react like people, and people that are reactive are successful in their lives, and companies are the same exactly.
Since we met a few years ago, Luis, I've had many different opportunities to talk with you about the company that you want to build and the company that you are building. You were talking about your vision for Purever Industries. You also just mentioned that you have ambitions, and you're ambitious, and that's part of your leadership style. Could you tell us a little bit more about maybe the more personal aspect of your dream? I guess using the word dream has a bit more of an emotional, personal connotation to it. And both Karen and I were just wondering, what is your professional dream that you still haven't fulfilled, if you haven't?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that dreams are important, but we must have the feet well on the ground. So I think we must have a purpose, and see if the purpose we have fits and this world where we are, and contributes to something. So I would say my main ambition is really that the Purever, in this case, is the company that suits and finds a purpose in the world. I think we have that clear vision that we can be helpful to today's world problems, particularly in these clean and cold activities that we have. Therefore, I think that basically this is very important. And you have that. When you have that, I think the ambition must be there, because everything can be always developed more and expanded. Now we have this opportunity of integrating Ardmac in Purever. It's a fantastic opportunity, because not only fantastic people, but also a set of technologies and expertise which are crucial for our strategy to present a more complex solutions, more innovative solutions to the markets. So there is again another possibility of developing further Purever. So the ambition, I could say, on the very short time, is that we do it together and do it well. And then by doing that, of course, we'll have the opportunity and to reach another different goals. I think the most important thing is always to not to plan too much, in the sense things must be planned, of course, but the world is so versatile and so changing that what you must be is really adaptive. And I think we go step by step, day by day. And if every day, in the end of the day, you feel you did well, it's one day more that things are going in the right direction. No? So I think this is my ambition is basically to live every day like a perfect day, and that the day that comes tomorrow will be even better. No? So we always say in Purever that the best is yet to come, and I think it's always a phrase I like to use in our meetings, because I think it's true. The best is yet to come. So we must be optimists, because if the world is negative, also negativity translates into negative actions. The world has enough negativity, so I think we must all be agents of positive energy in the world, and the companies can be a good engine for that too.
It's very inspiring and motivating, I think, that phrase, the best is yet to come. And certainly Purever has had an interesting journey, now in excess of 400 million revenue. Can you tell us a bit about the highlights and perhaps some of the challenges that stand out to you along that journey?
Well, basically what we tried to do is that we think if we want to hire talent, if we want to have more talented people and that can contribute for us to offer good things to the markets, we have two possibilities. One possibility is to do like many other companies did, which is go to the stock market, convince investors, raise a lot of money and try to develop. Or there is a modest way. The way we did with the Purever was to use the money we were making to invest in growth and to invest in going ahead, because we always thought that this would be the right way to do it. Of course, it's very important to have a good funding and to have good shareholders to support you, but it's also very important that you act as a family in the development of your business and in the approach you have to the markets, where customers are part of that family. In a sense, they pay they pay your salaries, and therefore they must be pleased or must find relevant what you are doing. And so our journey has come a little bit on that. First, we were a 10 million euros company, and then we went to 30, and then we went to 70, and then we went to 130. Always not in, let's say, an ambition of to grow just for growth, but particularly of being able with that to build something which would be creating really value for the customers and for the employees, the stakeholders, generally speaking, which is the most important point. So we learned from what was happening. I think, for example, the COVID and what happened on the post-COVID and the sensitivity that the world had towards diseases, particularly the world which thought was safe from diseases, or at least important diseases and viruses like the Western world. We understand that life is not like that. So created a lot of opportunities there. Also the transition that we are suffering today in terms of the protection of the world and putting ahead a lot of actions to protect the environment, created opportunities for companies like ours. And more than I thought it was an obligation we had towards the society, an obligation to do these actions and to do these things, because if you have the potential, the most awful thing is not to take advantage or not to offer your potential to the society. So I think a company is the same. You have the potential, you must offer your potential, and customers will challenge you to to let you do or not this potential that you think you have. So, and if we have, like we have been able to, so growth comes, and so I think it's a very natural process. No, there's nothing that is forced or imposed.
So, from 10 to 400 million euros, that's truly impressive, Luis. And I think that this has been at least partially the result of what's referred to in the recent years as an international buildup. And I'm curious, you were alluding to just a short while ago, creating a company with a sense of purpose as part of your dream. Can you tell us a little bit about the current purpose that joins together all these parts, and how does it make Purever different from its competitors? What really sets us apart?
I think I will always, during my journey, professional journey, I always believed the industry as a core activity to create jobs and create, probably because I was born in the beginning of the 60s or end of the 50s, where industry was booming and created a lot of jobs worldwide. And people were proud part of that very strong economic development everywhere in the United States, in Europe. Then even I followed a little bit the awakening of Asia and the Asian countries also through that. And we have seen, looking at China, how a tremendous impact that development of the industry generated in the other activities and sectors. And in the end, I've always had this idea that industry was part of my DNA, and so I wanted really to be part of Purever's DNA, so develop and manufacture products that were useful for people and that people could use, or companies could use, or markets could use, hospitals could use, schools could use, researchers could use in order to make the world better, or make the world safer. And that has been, let's say, the guideline that I've been following. And then realizing that as the world goes ahead, that products by themselves are good, but doesn't fit a final purpose, that you must invest also in the projects and in the know-how, in the project and the architecture. And again, probably that's my parents' heritage, that use architecture also in the design of clean rooms and on design of solutions that makes factories work better, that makes the labs work better, that makes research work better. So in the end, this comes all together. And I think that's a big part of your human history, is to integrate well all these heritages that you have, what you have seen on the world around. I think Europe made a lot of mistakes in the 80s and the 90s when said, we don't need to manufacture everything. We can be rich and we produce it in China, in Korea, whatsoever. And today we realized it was a mistake, which I always said was a big mistake, generated a lot of unemployment and generated a lot of people that don't have this purpose of working in an industry and being proud of working in a factory. That is something that was very interesting for me when we bought Dakar. Dakar was a company founded in 1951, and we bought it in 2018 and tried to be absorb part of their history and development. And one of the things very interesting visiting the company is that people that were working there for 35, 40 years, they were very proud of what they were producing and very eager to see where their products were going. And I think this is the real sense of purpose. When a simple, say, worker in the factory floor sees and is proud of that his products that he helps manufacture going to whatever in the world to suit a need of the world and to suit this purpose. I think this is the real purpose in life, and that is, I think, the mission of a company is really to be able to feel that all its elements feel the same, no? Because it's like a body. If you have an organ that feels different or goes in a different direction, you will have cancer or any disease sooner or later because the thing is not balanced. So a company is exactly the same, must be balanced, and our purpose, let's say, only is really fulfilled if you are able to do it. No, it's not because there is not only for the customers, but internally with your people.
Can you tell us more about the strategic reasons around the acquisition of Ardmac and Misa, and how that fits with your overall objectives for Purever?
Good. Ardmac, which I knew already for a few years and appreciated very much whatever Ardmac was doing as a customer of ours, because Ardmac was integrating our products or some of our products in their projects. So I felt that this is not really an acquisition, it's more like an integration of two companies that have significant know-how in very complementary areas. Purever had more know-how on the industrial products, on their manufacturing and development, and Ardmac had a lot of knowledge in terms of the design and build of technical rooms. And this is, I think, worked very well together, because the world today requires this level of integration. The world, and I think the customers, and I've seen many examples where we work together, which led me to think if we work as a whole, we'll be capable of producing not only products from an industrial perspective, but on the customer perspective, on the application perspective. And also, I would feel that Ardmac, having this kind of support on the spec for some off-site building, etc., could perform better in terms of the installation if had some industry background to support. Made one or two examples that the customers appreciate a lot, this kind of integration, which is a win-win in terms of putting ideas on the table and making them happen in terms of translating into more effective products, more products that are more can contribute more to this purpose of helping the world be a safer place and a better place. No, I think it's really a reunion of a synergetic reunion of competences, which I think it's the most important thing. A very good fit between the two companies.
Fit in your purpose as well, Luis, of making the world a better place through industry, both in terms of customers and our own industrial capabilities. So I think that fits really well. Just in closing, one of the last questions that Karen and I wanted to ask you is if you could tell us a little bit about the priorities for Purever moving forward, and in order to stay on this trajectory, this path to success that you've been following so far. What are the priorities going forward?
Well, first of all, if, as I said, we integrated two companies with very strong know-how, we must make it happen. So I would say the first priority is really to achieve a successful integration not only of people, which is of course important, but translating these people working together, putting their knowledge together, translate that into better products, more advanced products, and better solutions and offered to the market and our customers. So I think basically that is no doubt a very important point. If we achieve it, we are there. Then I think we are also very geographically complementary. So putting these geo-complementary together allows us probably to go further and present our products to other markets. Asia, for example, where we have done projects, but not so relevant up to now. The development in the United States, which is no doubt a very important market for us in terms of future, and the consolidation of leadership in Europe, because putting these two companies together make us a big responsibility towards the European market, where we have a very strong footprint in many countries and a very leadership position in many projects. So it's very important that you go one step further and listen to new customers, listen to more important customers that what they expect from you, because basically we are here to serve that need that the world has, but the world has namely through projects, because the world decides that we need a lot of factories for batteries. Of course, we must respond to that, developing products and projects that fit the need of these new emerging markets. And we speak about batteries, but we could speak about space, about so many things, satellites, so many things. The world will evolve. Technology, industry 4.0, where so many things that we have, let's say, can be suited. So in a certain way, one of the things which are very important is to be able to cope with that, to have it's a greater responsibility. Once you grow and you become more relevant, you have a higher responsibility towards the society and your customers now. So it's very important to be on the right track for that too.
Fantastic, Luis, Karen. It's been great to spend a little bit of time talking with both of you. And I look forward to doing it again sometime in the future. And congratulations, Luis. And it's always a pleasure to chat.
Thank you. So thank you very much for your support during these years too. Thank you. Thank you, Karen.